Yo, what's up? Well, hopefully we get this rolling here. Talk about beware of bogus building materials. Firstly, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments are laws built upon foundation of assassinations, greed, hypocrisy, nationalism, and hatred. There can be no love, truth, peace, or freedom for descendants of so-called African Americans, aka us, black folks in America. Found the establishment of these particular laws, the United States, secondly, they were constructed with the intentions to reinstitute slavery throughout the several states under hallucinatory slave names, Negro, black, colored, Africans. This well-built system This well-built system was supposed to last as long as the European laws can keep them black and without natural status and thus sustain jurisdiction over them, or until their God of truth salvaged them. Finally, this construction was to mold the Moorish American nation as hostage behind judicial walls of courts and pipe dream American citizenry. Alas, to this day, from the awful building complaints and remarks are echoed, I am an American. Things are better for black folks. Your vote can make a difference. When we were colored, my civil rights. When will it occur to the ex-slaves that it is not only possible for the founding fathers that established enslaved Africans in 1789 for their Masonic grandsons to enslave them again in 1865, but damn likely. But who's really looking at this building and the materials it's made from? For example, the Reconstruction period from 1865 to 1877, 12 years as the number for government, was in fact the exotic and 14th and 15th Amendment. Publicly, the orders of Freemasonry unleashed their first installation of the good old boys, the Ku Klux Klan, in 1866. The sole purpose of the KKK was and is to keep the fear of white God in the minds of hearts of ex-slaves. Ask anyone from Memphis or West Arkansas who Forest City, Arkansas is named after. It was through the Klan subsidiaries that the European Masons were able to physically manifest centuries of deep-seated oppositions toward the African mothers and fathers of the human race. Meanwhile, privately, in the daytime, in order to save the Union, their unhooded political twin brethren in Washington worked feverishly, ratifying the 14th and 15th Amendments and contravening laws to 7 states designed to keep the Moorish black from the birth to death certificates. In essence, this period was the reconstruction of slavery under another lawful name. From an infinite point of view, slavery has always been a divine issue. The 1865 congressional abolishment of slavery in the United States was not the will of European people, but an act of great God. Nevertheless, the pale-skinned politicians, Christians, secret societies, and contriving a new legal face for re-enslavement of the day's Negro used the entire Reconstruction period. Their slave masters made the minds and characteristics of NBC people. They were molded and mass-produced to see, hear, taste, touch, and smell all things from this man made. Meaning, although legally free, he remains domesticated intellectually and sophisticated by Western political, social habitation. He feels his thinking is normal, and it is normal for a black person. The 140-year concern here is blacks have mastered virtually every aspect of the United States political realms. They voted, became politicians, became Freemasons, doctors of law, education, science, even mastered theater, sports, Christianity, business, have lobbied for equal housing, employment funding, programs, have all used all of the tools for pale skin cosmetics, and have not yet drawn the conclusion that the European-based United States government is not for them or about them. Some suffering the Stockholm Syndrome have altered their eyes, skin, hair, body, character, and the image and likeness of the white people. Some are far more white than right. Yet, what benefit has these tools been towards the knowledge of self, consciousness of a nation? Is it possible to know the great God in the absence of true self? There are other political tools in which the Moorish of America has been well miseducated to their usability, prime and tattered specimens. Of these tools were made to suck from the ex post facto udders of the 14th and 15th Amendments. These Reconstruction Amendments are the workshop of these tools of civil rights, voters' rights, gay lesbian rights, affirmative action, color discrimination rights, equal opportunity rights, and a host of other granted privileges. Reparations to freed blacks. Not one of these implements can muster the divine rights of free nationality, divine creed, nor certain inalienable rights merited to all true citizens of the United States. All civil issues are the lesser concerns, mostly mooted instabilities of the masses to be adjudicated by the ruling government. The 14th and 15th Amendment were contrary to control the rise and falls of civil unrest, which are inevitable in a society of few subsidizing the many. The 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution was originally written to legalize the fetid minds of the Negro colored folks, black people and other persons made slaves by being duly convicted of crimes. It must be remembered, all governments must establish laws designed to purge it of alien, unclean, undesired elements that may threaten to disrupt the flow of stability in the bloodstream of its citizenry. The Founding Fathers, all white male above the age 21, 97% Freemasons, incorporated their basic laws of large initiation into the United States Constitution. These mandatory laws gave them the right to exclude all people of considered Philadelphia, black slaves, women, cripples, and so on. Their grand lodge in the West, this is the person clause of built-in discrimination, such as 3/5 of a person's. Indians written into the very first article of the United States Constitution. Masons have never been without the profane world. The United States has never been without her slaves. Here, irony must also be remembered, because today, 225 history-filled years later, people of the United States are still trying to find ways to rid themselves of discrimination against black, gays, women, handicapped, ethnic, religion. The mere fact they look to the Masonic monopolized courtrooms and laws for relief is like a Negro seeking membership at the night Klan rally. Nevertheless, all rights of the true citizen to the Constitution. The 14th and 15th Amendments are exclusively written for others, namely descendants of African born in the United States, civilian plebeians. This is the origin of political enslavement to the minds of a counterfeit race of people. This is why the carpetbaggers, Western Freemasons, said, as long as the Negro attends our schools and churches, we will continue to own them. Surely no nation can be built from these materials. Can a clean and pure nation be made from the black materials? Free men realize all things outside of himself are the effects of what his unseen thoughts cause to be. All right, get calling in. Surely no nation can be built from the materials. Can clean and pure nation be made from black materials? Free men realize all things outside of himself are the effects of what his unseen thoughts cause to be. All effects are powerless, subject to change with time. The true source of power lies within the dome. Man, this is yet another reason they cause the new yet ancient thinking a pure and clean nation. The only way a nation can be purified is to become exempt from outside purities. Yeah, there you have it. And last one, No man can be Negro, black, or colored because they are made in the image and likeness of God. Simply put, the reason certain people think they are what they are, not is because they do not master who they are in the first place. This is like an entire nation being comatose for 4 centuries. This is the state of the Moors, wherein he found them. If you can imagine a nation being born in the descent, and worse yet, no understanding of their true God state, the former can only be recovered through their knowledge of their forefathers.